Day one of watching a movie, 3 episodes of a show, reading 20 pages of a book, and listening to an album every single day. Starting off, these were our selections for today. Starting off with our movie, I watched Moana 2026 in the movie theater. Now, I'm also watching a movie in a theater every single week, so that's why I ended up watching this film, which I did not have much expectations going into, and I didn't get much out of. It's just a worse version of the animated Moana film, which I'm already not that crazy about. It looks really horrible for a film with a $250 million budget, the same budget as The Odyssey. The Rock looks like John Cena in the Barbie movie with his terrible wig he's got going on. But that being said, the story of the original Moana movie is enough to carry this as to not being a boring watch. There have been some films I've watched in the theater this year where I've spent in the middle of the movie like, ugh, please get me out of here, which is not like that for this movie. So even though it has less creative integrity than those films, I'm still willing to give it a 3 out of 10. Next up, for a TV show, I watched Breaking Bad Season 1, Episodes 1 through 3. Now, on my Lyric Reacts and Lyric Reacts media channels, I watched Breaking Bad up until Season 2, Episode 10, but then I dropped the show when I dropped YouTube just to having a complicated schedule. But now, getting back into it, I am trying to watch back the show so we can complete the show on that channel. So, the first 3 episodes of this show, I think, are absolute perfect. The pilot is such an amazing pilot, one of the best I've ever seen at getting me into the show. Episode 2 is such a great continuation. The bathtub scene with the acid is so great. And Episode 3 is potentially the best one here. Walter and Domingo's conversation is just so amazing and profound. And overall, I give all 3 episodes here a 10 out of 10. An amazing introduction to the show. And a lot of people say season 1 is by far the worst season of Breaking Bad, which makes me even more excited for seasons 3 through 5, because I think these 3 episodes are already just fantastic. For a book, I read Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings, pages 105 to 125. Now, I am a history major in college, so I read a lot of history books, and this book is about the relationship between third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, and his 30-plus year-long alleged relationship with one of his slaves, Sally Hemings, and going over all the evidence for it, and mainly a lot of the bias historians at the time the book was written had to try to dismiss the allegation, even though there was tons of evidence for it, and overall there was a ton of racial bias on the account of historians at the time trying to discount this relationship, and since the book's release, it has actually been proven a whole lot more of this relationship by a DNA evidence that did not exist at the time. So this book's been kind of vindicated in the 30 years since its release, but yeah, it's a very good book analyzing their relationship and analyzing all the evidence and analyzing historians' reactions to it. I really recommend it if you're into history and the history of slave times in particular. And for album, I listened to Petals by Ariana Grande, her new album. I liked about 3 songs on this album, especially the hit track Hate That I Made You Love Me. But overall, I thought this album was really generic overall as a pop record. And so I ended up giving it a 4 out of 10. And I have a reaction to this album coming out on my Lyric Reacts music channel if you want to see that.